What a disappointing night for Arsenal at the Emirates, losing 2-0 against Newcastle, and now with a lot more work to do in the second leg. I've been saying this since the terrible start this year, but I just don't think that Arsenal is the same team that we were in the last two seasons. Martinelli has no confidence, Saka's injured, Trossard has not been effective, and Gabriel Jesus is in and out of goal-scoring form. Defensively, we were very reactive, and I think Newcastle punished us with the one thing that we've been needing in the last few years, and we still don't have. A legitimate striker who can score goals and put games away. Alexander Isak scoring the first goal, and honestly, with a performance that shows exactly why he's one of the most sought after strikers in the world right now. And I was really hoping that we would try and get him over the summer in 2024, and I think now he may be just a little bit too far out of our budget. This is why I thought it would be so important to get him early, because now there's a lot more clubs and probably a few with bigger budgets who are going to be looking at trying to get him on their roster. So what went wrong in this match? From a tactical perspective, there really wasn't too much. 70% possession, 3.09 expected goals, 6 big chances missed, and take a look at this, 500 accurate passes to Newcastle's 189. And if that's not impressive enough, 11 corner kicks. Any Arsenal fan right now would dream of 11 corner kicks in one match, knowing just how good we are at set pieces. So if you look at the performance, I actually think that we were the better team. Surprisingly though, today was one of the few times in recent memory where the team that we played against was better than us at set pieces. So fair play and shout out to Eddie Howe and his Newcastle staff for doing their homework. I can guarantee that they spent a lot of time on the training ground working on defending set pieces. I think where it really went wrong was all in the details. In the first goal after that initial ball, all of our defenders got caught ball watching, and the two players who put themselves in good positions when it fell were Jacob Murphy and Isak. And of course, Isak is the last person that you want the ball to fall to inside the box with a little space. I'm disappointed at the lack of focus and the overall defending, especially when we're known for having the best set piece coach in the world. The second goal, once again, having to do with the quality of Alexander Isak. The small little attention to detail and differences from a top level player are the reason why his price tag is going to be so expensive. As soon as he gets the ball and plays out wide, he immediately makes a run into a better space to receive the ball and to have a shot. Raya saves it, and Anthony Gordon is the fastest one to react for a tap-in, which seals the victory for Newcastle. From there, once again, Eddie showed that they did their homework, and I thought they defended really well for the entire match, specifically after they scored that second goal. So they'll be very happy to go back home for the second leg with a 2-0 advantage and only need to keep a clean sheet in order to progress to the final against either Liverpool or Tottenham. And I know this doesn't have anything to do with the Premier League as far as our position on the table, but I do think it shows that we're so far off from challenging for the league because we simply don't have the personnel to do it. And I know there's going to be a lot of talk, and there already is, about Mikel Arteta and whether he's the right man for the job or whether he's been overhyped since he's barely won anything during his time at Arsenal. I've always been Arteta in because I think he's the one that raised the standards to where people were disappointed at the fact that we got second place. Even though we overperformed, and most people would have been happy to have a manager who could just get us within the top 4 every year consistently. But when you overperform, that becomes the new standard, and now you're going to be criticized based on that. I also think that with the recent departure of Edu as our sporting director, Arsenal are in a very tough position that can swing either way. I think the partnership between Arteta and Edu showed the importance of having someone who can really just focus on the transfers and improving the squad while allowing the manager just to focus on the improvement on the pitch. I do wonder if Arsenal are going to go after Dan Ashworth now that he's left Manchester United, but for sure I think we have to fill that role first before we pull a Chelsea with Todd Boehly and just start buying the most expensive random players on the market. And as much as we've spent a lot of money in recent years, I think we need the final piece of the puzzle, which is spending big on a legitimate world-class striker that's going to score enough goals for us to win the Premier League. Fortunately for us, there's quite a few players out there who are performing really well that I think would be interested in becoming part of the Arsenal project. Whether we decide to spend the money is a different question, but I'm going to continue saying that we have no chance of winning the Premier League if we don't get a world-class striker. And as much as I wish that Gabriel Jesus or Kai Havertz could be that guy, the truth is that right now, the best we can do is a top 4 finish. So my questions to you guys, in the comment section, let me know what you think. Is it time for us to start thinking about replacing our manager to try and find someone who can take us all the way to a Premier League trophy? Or is Arteta the right guy and he just needs a little bit more time? And also, as far as the need to improve the squad, is a central striker the only position that we're missing, or is there other positions on the pitch that also need some improvement? And finally, who would you bring in that could help us? Let me know in the comments.